this gorgeous sourdough bread made with fruit. And if you are still struggling with sourdough starter, you are in the right place, my friend. Because today I'm going to share with you my strongest starter ever. Let's get into it, shall we?
To make fruit yeast, we need any kind of fruit except the one with protease enzymes. Something like kiwi and pineapple is not acceptable. Into the jar, you can cut them into the pieces to fasten up the process and add a little bit of sweetener to boost up the fermentation. Then cover them with water 5 centimeters above them, lid up but loosely, and put this magical fruit water somewhere warm, maybe with Mr. Jingles. Dealing with any kind of fermentation, temperature plays the main role. The higher the temperature, the faster the process. The next beautiful day, the mixture smells not very different. Now, time to start shaking it. And if there is any gas, you need to release it.
You need to shake it twice a day, sometimes 3 times.
As I said, you can make this with any kind of fruit. This is grape, that was apple, even dried fruits work perfectly. On second day, you might see some bubbles forming at the top of the mixture. If the fruits were at the bottom of the jar, now they're gonna float and come to the surface. On second or third day, it's gonna smell fruity. And finally, you will hear this sound, a fizzy water called fruityeastwater. Even now, you can start making bread, but I'm gonna bottle it up. We need just the juice, of course. Add a little bit of sugar or honey. Let it sit for another day at room temperature until you had a gassy, gut-friendly probiotic juice that you can even drink it. I think you guessed it, but if you don't know yet, this is also how to make kombucha, my friend. You are welcome. And finally, we have fruityeastwater and we are ready to make a starter. In a mason or normal jar, add 30 to 40 grams flour, followed by 30 to 40 grams fruityeastwater. Mixy, mark it up to see how it dries. At 28 degrees Celsius, this is after 3 hours. And voila! After just 5 hours, it's double its size. Thank you, Mr. Jingles. From now, we're gonna feed it regularly like normal starter with just water and flour. I need to mention again that temperature plays the main role. So make sure to put it somewhere warm to rise properly. As it smells a bit sour, I think we are there, my friend. I just want to feed it a couple more times. Make sure I have super active starter. This is after the third feeding. It's already there. Yep, that's it. And this has to be my final round. A beautiful strong starter with just after 4 hours, triple its size. That's what I'm talking about, my friend. Let me tell you this, if you made a normal starter with just flour and water and you want it to look like this active, it might take around 2 weeks to reach here. Let's put it on test and make a bread, shall we? I have 7 grams salt, followed by 250 gram water, 70 gram of that beautiful active fruit starter. Mixy, we don't want to dissolve anything, we just want to have a milky water like this. Lastly, 350 gram a mix of flour, which is 300 gram bread flour, 25 gram rye and 25 gram whole wheat. Why? To boost up the fermentation and bring lots of flavor to this dough. Now clean hand turn the bowl and doughy hand mix the dough. Oh my god, it's a mess. Don't panic, my friend. Use a scraper to clean up your hand. As simple as this. That's it, right? Clean up the side of the bowl as well. Once you had a shaggy dough like this,
Cover it up and let the time to do the rest of the job. The kitchen is a bit busy today. Sorry for that. Actually, you can see them. I'm baking 5 loaves of bread. Come with me.
yep, you heard me right. I bake 5 loaves of bread in my home kitchen oven. If you are my regular audience, you might know my baking adjustment. If you don't know, I put the link of the video in the description. You can check it out later. Back to the dough. After 30 minutes, the dough has rested properly. Bring a bowl of water close to you. We're gonna wet up our hand every time we're gonna touch the dough. As you can see, the dough gains some beautiful strength. Nothing fancy, stretch and fold. Then lift the dough up a couple of times, put it back. Some slap and fold, ball it up like a pizza dough. Do whatever technique suits you. Then we're gonna round it up inside the bowl like this to create little more tension. But that's totally optional. I like to get fancy a bit. Gorgeous, right?
In this stage, starter hasn't done anything much yet. So it's not about starter, it's not about technique, just about flour. You need a good high protein bread flour. That's it.
The dough rested for another 30 minutes and now it's smoother and more elastic. Same thing gonna happen. Wet up your hand, stretch the dough as much as possible, fold it on itself, turn the bowl, do the same. Maybe stretch and lift it up, put it back. Wet up your hand as much as you need. And again, I'm going to push the dough under itself inside the bowl to round it up and create little more tension. If you want more space, you can wet up the surface slightly, bring the dough on the surface, and round it up on the counter. I guess it's easier, right? Of course, the bottom of the dough is a little sticky at this stage. Don't panic. Use a scraper again. Once you had a smooth dough like this, into the bowl.
Cover it up and let it rest for 45 minutes this time. You want some idea for micro bakery? Let me show you.
If you have planned to sell breads, packaging also matter. To my experience, you need to keep it as simple as possible. Write down something for your customers, send some gift. Make sure they know that you love your job. And these are my gorgeous cheese sourdough. Yummy. Hopefully I gave you some idea. Okay, back to the dough. After 45 minutes rest, time to perform a set of coil fold. This is how the dough should look like after a set of coil fold. I'm seeing some bubbles here, which shows a beautiful fermentation going on here. Cover it, let it rest for another 45 minutes.
Did you know that if your starter or yeast water is not that active, it's sometimes just about temperature? It's winter time, and in cooler climate, it takes way longer to ferment. But the good news is you can create that warmer atmosphere for your dough or your starter to rise properly. Put them inside the oven with the light on or somewhere warm in your kitchen. Keep in your mind the ideal temperature would be something around 27 to 30 degrees Celsius. You can also invest on a proofing box or make one by yourself.
45 minutes later, this has to be the final touch. Final fold. In this case, coil fold. In this stage, the dough should release easily from the bowl and feels super smooth and elastic. Let it finish its ball fermentation and let me show you my garden today. Some new babies here. And these are my new roses. Alright, enough with garden. Just wanted to share with you. At 26 degrees Celsius, it takes not more than 2 hours to fully ferment. How we know? The dough pulls away from the side of the bowl easily. You might see some bubbles forming on the surface of the dough. It's not that sticky anymore. I'm gonna wet up the surface, and if you hold the bowl upside down, it's gonna release like a piece of cake. Look how creamy and gorgeous this dough is. You can oil up or wet up your hand one more time. Don't push the dough at all. You need to be as gentle as possible. Just push the dough under itself with very quick touches and round it up with the help of the surface. You know, right? This is called pre-shape. And even now I can say this fruit starter was a success, my friend. Look how airy and puffy this dough is. Rested 20 minutes uncovered on the surface. Now shaping time. I'm gonna stick to a very simple shaping method. Into the banneton. As my starter was so fresh and young, the dough temperature was so high. In this case, to avoid overproofing, I transferred the dough straight into the freezer as my room temperature also is so high at this stage. So I let the temperature to goes down for 10 to 15 minutes before I transferred the dough into the fridge for overnight proofing. Who knows, maybe this technique save you next time from overproofing. Have you seen our New Year card? Get the thermometer and check the temperature, my friend. It's very important.
So, get one of these.
Finally, the next beautiful morning, it's baking time. Bring a baking mat or baking paper. The dough is beautifully fermented. On a baking mat, score like a pro. Into the preheated oven, bake at 230 degrees Celsius with the help of the steam. Sew up the loaves, if you bake multiple loaves, of course. Remove the remaining steam, reduce the temperature to 210 degrees Celsius and bake for another 25 minutes. Honestly, is this loaf of bread approved by you? Stunning. Let's see what we got inside, shall we? Wow.
Smells right.
My favorite part, tasting time.
Beautiful, like my normal sourdough bread. Fruit sourdough starter, 100% approved.
Alright, I guess that was it. You might say 4 to 6 days, it's already same as making normal sourdough starter. But we didn't have that much discard. It's just daily shaking until we have fruityeastwater, and after that, couple of feeding and boom, we have an active starter. Consider this another ancient way of making bread with different flavor, of course. Give it a shot and let me know how it goes. Like always, keep baking and take a good care of yourself.